Hello everybody out there in the Frontline universe, and welcome back to another comic book review, and I'm really excited for this book, guys. This is the second crossover between IDW and DC Comics, and this book is more connected to me than the first. This is Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 1. Now this week as well is the finale to Star Trek Green Lantern. That came out of IDW. Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comes out of DC Comics. So this crossover is a Big 2 release, not an IDW release. First and foremost, the artwork in this book is gorgeous. Since its announcement and since the preview pages, I was really excited for the artwork. And after reading the first issue, man, the artwork looks great. And you guys saw, Mike just showed you a couple of pages of artwork. And another thing I will definitely mention is this is obviously, because it's Bruce Wayne Batman, this is obviously out of time period or out of continuity with both DC and IDW, because you saw in that last page of the preview, Shredder's involved in this series, and it was mentioned also in the description of the series. So this takes place obviously before the events of issue 50 in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if they're going to connect this mini at all to either timeline at some point. I don't think they're going to do it with Batman. My guess is after seeing the costume or the suit that Batman uses, this would, if anything, take place more in the Batman Arkham timeline, because the costume or the suit is very Arkham-esque. The Turtles, however, they can maybe reference it later on and consider it like something that they mentioned, oh, this happened months before we even had our last fight with Shredder. Now, this book opens up with a scientist talking to somebody about the Foot Clan breaking into their lab and stealing certain equipment, but the Turtles show up to try to stop them. But the scientist didn't know that. She said the lights went black, the Turtles showed up, and when the lights came back on, the equipment was gone, but the Turtles were still there. So she's blaming the Turtles, thinking they're working with the Foot Clan to steal this equipment. Why do they want this equipment? We find out later on what our thoughts are on, we know as readers, but Batman's still trying to figure it out. Anyway, the scientist turns out to be talking to none other than Batman. And there's an awesome page where the Turtles make an order for pizza. It's kind of reminiscent of the 90s movie. If you saw the 90s movie where the guy left the pizza on the sidewalk, and then they went up and they grabbed it through the sewer. That was really awesome. That was a funny moment. And then you have a big splash page of Batman. Apparently the death of his parents is coming up, and whenever that comes around each and every year, he delves into Batman mode and into work. And Alfred shows a concern. He does mention Damian being away, so this could also potentially connect to the DC animated universe, because this reminds me of Batman vs. Robin. So this could be any amount of Batman use. So it's DC Comics, so figure the multiverse is wide open. When it comes to the Turtles, they'll maybe reference this as a past event, like I mentioned before. But Batman now wants to figure out what's going on and how to stop it. He figured out that there were several crimes in several labs. The only one left is a Wayne Tech lab, and he knows they're going to attack there, so he doesn't send... Alfred stops the police from going, and he ends up going as Batman. We find out Killer Croc has a tracking device, so we get to see Killer Croc here. He has a tracking device on Batman's Batmobile, and he knows that Batman's busy dealing with whatever's happening in the lab, so what they're going to do is they want to wait till Batman parks his car and goes into the lab, and then they basically want to strip the Batmobile dry. I thought that was hilarious. And they're taking the sewer so they don't get seen. I'm mentioning this because they end up walking into the Turtles' makeshift lair. Batman's hiding in the lab. The Turtles are underground. You've got two awesome action-packed scenes that happen. You've got Batman versus the Foot Clan, and the Turtles versus Killer Croc and his lackeys. And man, it was really cool to see the Turtles fighting Killer Croc. And Batman comes face to face with Shredder. And he's like, why are you taking this equipment? What's the purpose? This isn't something that could destroy the world. And he's like, we just want to go home. So as readers, we figured out that they want to go home. We still don't know how they got there, but they're there. And now the Foot Clan is trying to get home. You've got the Turtles who are trying to get home, but they're not stealing equipment, at least to my knowledge. Unless that point kind of got missed. But now that the Turtles' lair was found out, they have to leave and find a new lair. So they go above ground. They see the Batmobile. And I love how Donnie kind of geeks out on the Batmobile. And then Batman shows up because the Foot Clan disappears. And Batman's like, turtles, ... To be continued. I thought that was a really awesome first issue. It was a great intro. The end of the issue had a perfect action scene. Batman versus the Turtles villains, and the Turtles versus one of Batman's villains. It was classic. It was awesome. The artwork made it look gorgeous. It's an intro issue, so really it's just setting up the miniseries for the next couple issues. I guess next issue, if the Turtles don't end up fighting Batman, they'll explain how they ended up in Batman's universe. But I really like this. We all know Krang is the reason why they're there, but we don't know what events led to them being sent to Batman's universe. So I'm looking forward to seeing the questions unfold in the future issues. This was a really great first issue. If you didn't check this out, guys, go to your local comic shop. This was an excellent mini-series. Now, I haven't read any other books this week, so I'm not going to go up and say this was book of the week yet, but this was and is definitely going to be in my top 5. This was an excellent first issue. The artwork alone was gorgeous. Yes, it's not something that IDW's done for the Turtles in my recollection as far as artwork, but I would love to see this as artwork for the Turtles in future story arcs, if at all possible. Batman looks great. I love the Batsuit. Perfect miniseries to jump in on. If you didn't try Star Trek Green Lantern, I would definitely recommend that too. I haven't read the conclusion to that yet, but I did read this issue, and I wanted to get this review out as soon as possible. So you guys, if you didn't check this issue out, you go back to your comic shops, or when you go to your local comic shop at the end of the week, you check this book out. It is definitely worth your time. And with that, that's it for this review, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this crossover miniseries, this first issue. And, yeah, until then, guys, don't forget to check out more really awesome stuff on comicfrontline.com. We try to give you something each and every day. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, so we're in your sub box and you don't miss out on a single video. And don't forget to also swing over to the website. We have new articles each and every day as well. Till then, guys, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I will see you guys really soon in the next video.